Lynne, you're very welcome to the Tavern.
Thank you.
Now, I only thought this was fair, right, because I think it was episode 3 or something like that. I had David Price, one of the other producers of the 39 Steps. Thank you for agreeing to come and talk to me.
I think I have to agree, Jungle, because I think you'd have gone on and on until I'd agreed, really.
Yeah, but coming in before we started the interview, we were talking about growing up. Where were you? Where did you?
I grew up for the first 4 years of my life in Abergwestyn. I was actually born in Haverfordwest.
Yeah.
Many people will and others won't know that I was actually adopted at 12 days old by my parents, and then taken to Abergwestyn, which is pretty much in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then I was there for 4 years, and then we moved down to Builth Wells when Dad semi-retired.
With farming background then?
Farming background, yeah. We were on a very big hill farm called Pentwyn in Abergwestyn.
Yeah.
And I think Dad loved it, maybe Mum not quite so much.
So you got lots of good memories of growing up in Abergwestyn?
I think a lot of my memories of growing up in Abergwestyn are the ones that I've been told, probably. I've got cousins down in Swansea from my father's side who used to come up a lot. And they used to say how we used to go and play stones in the river. I was often tried to get them to take me swimming, etc. And it was running around. It was the freedom of it all. It's a totally different lifestyle. You knew everybody there.
And felt safe, Lynne, yeah?
And felt safe. We had a shop about 200, 300 metres away, and it was Diane Thursday at the shop. So you used to go there, and the treat was getting a bottle of pop to come home with. And then you used to come back past a place called Brindolly, and there was Evans and Evans there. I don't really know their names, but we always knew them as Evans and Evans. They were two elderly gentlemen. And then we had the schoolroom, and there was lots of functions.
Where was school? Where was school?
School was in Builth.
You came to Builth?
Yeah, I moved to Builth just after I was 4. So I probably started school when I was 5, way behind everybody else. Yeah. Went through Builth Primary, Builth High School.
Yes. So, touching on we mentioned the David and the YFC. If you don't mind asking, when did you get involved with the YFC?
I was what you would call a very late entrant.
Yeah.
I think I was 17 or 18, and I got a phone call. Would I come and read through a part? And that was Yrwood YFC, which obviously friendly rivals of Builth YFC. And I went there and read the part, and then they said, "You're in." And I thought, gosh, I don't know anything about
That was your
acting.
first into drama,
That was my first introduction. It was a very, very small part. They needed another female, and I think they were desperate, ringing round, and I was kind of the last straw. But there we had the most fantastic producer called Mrs. Knight. She was a very elderly...
I've heard a lot of stories about Mrs. Knight.
Mrs. Knight is absolutely fantastic. She was an elderly lady.
Yeah.
And we had to pick her up because she didn't drive. And what she used to do, she used to hold her eyelids up to be able to see what we were doing. But she had such a knowledge of drama. That's where I learnt
that's a compliment. It's a compliment to herself. Sometimes with a great teacher, that they can pass on this to yourself.
Yeah. And I think really Mrs. Knight passed it on without even realising she passed it on, because then another member of the cast of Yrwood went on to produce, Wendy Powell, and then obviously Sam now, her son, excellent producer. And we went through to Wales a few times, but never to the dizzy heights of up the.
We'll come to that then.
But it was all experience, and what we gained from that was watching other clubs, what they did, and learning from them.
Well, the process of, as you say, watching over years, which leads probably into my next question. Now, it's obviously good memories with Yrwood and obviously performing. Now, I first met you helping out when you were producing the junior plays and helping David Price with other plays as well. Yeah. When were you first asked someone to say to you, right, Lynne?
Yeah, I know. I can remember. I remember that. It was at the start of January, and Marion Hope rang me up and said, "Would you produce for Builth Junior?" I was along with a couple of other people, and it was quite a low point in my life, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, with a lot of people that you speak to involved with drama, it kind of raises you up when you're going through a low point.
Wasn't it something to do with the creativity? You spoke of
It was, but it was the first play I did was a courtroom scene, and Dave had chosen the play, and I got involved with the production side of it. And that first time I produced, I thought, I have no idea what I'm doing. You know, when you're acting, you're directed, you're pretty much told what to do.
Yeah.
When you're producing, you're stood up there, and those young people are expecting you to know what, and to tell them what to do. And I thought, gosh, I really don't know. It's such a dramatic step from acting to producing that you don't realise. And when you get to the theatre in Brecon, which we're so lucky as a county to have the theatre in Brecon and such wonderful staff there, but when it comes to lighting, it comes to sound, oh gosh, it goes totally over my head. It terrifies me.
But from the observation, Lynne, right? Because you know where I'm going now, is that to touch on all the experience you've had, right? To present day now, right? Or all the learning you had to the 39 steps with the current group of young people in Builth Wells Young Farmers. What sort of experience was it for you with that, when you're able to put all your vast experiences together with David to come up with such a it was a wonderful play with a wonderful cast.
You know, I don't think I've enjoyed producing a lot of the plays. At the start, no.
Yeah.
Because you do think as a producer, hang on, are we going to get there? The 39 steps, Dave found the play and sent it through to me. I read it and I thought, gosh, how on earth are we going to pull this off? Because it was so complicated. It's got so many different scenes. It's got so many different characters. But what I knew we had was such a strong cast that could pull that off. And when we started working on it, scenes that we thought perhaps would take weeks to kind of get together came together really quickly. Like there's a scene at the start where the German spy dies, collapses over Hannah, and then Hannah is on the chair and has got to get under the German spy. And, do you know, we had Carrie and Darren together working on that scene, and literally about 10 minutes, and they had got it. It was brilliant. And, you know, I think that is going to be one of the classic YFC moments ever. It was such a brilliant,
people saw it. It was extremely funny.
Oh, it was brilliant.
But not only that, Lynne, we talk about the process of the young people being together and learning, but the achievement. They won Brecknock. They qualified through Wales. Then they go to Leamington Spa and finish second in the UK. I mean, for me, I was part of it, backstage, lights, whatever I was asked to do. For you, how special was that moment?
For me, it was my first time at Wales as a producer to start off with. That was special. And then going from Wales to national, you know, you look back at it and you think, did that really happen? Did that happen?
It did.
With 5 months, you know, of work that literally seems like 5 seconds. You know, when you look back at it, the achievement, but it's not the achievement of just, as I've said many times before, it's not the achievement of Dave and myself. It's the cast have been an absolute pleasure to work with. You know, we've had some highs, some lows, and I think the thing that I'll remember, or the words I'll remember, is Niall saying, "This fries my head." The number of times
Of course, Niall Evans was one of the cast members.
Niall Evans was one of the cast members, an absolutely brilliant portrayal of various characters throughout. But it's the whole team, you know, that were backstage, you know, yourself, everybody else, people that we had to bring in along the way. It would not have worked unless it was the whole team that were there. And then also on top of that, you know, when we go to Lemon Spa, we've got things like tickets, hotels, buses to book. So it's those people that took the lead on all those things. So Dave and I could really focus on getting the production there.
It was, for me, looking back, a wonderful achievement for a small town. And I was just, like yourself, so happy to be involved with the process. Yeah. And something rolling along in my memory, I'm sure it will with you. Lynne, wonderful memories with Builth Wells YFC. But when I was doing my little bit of research, I did notice there's on Facebook, there's got Great House Farm. Now I know you are the manager of that. But what's curious, people might not be aware of, there's a certain, you won Business of the Year about a year ago. First question, I suppose, with that, what exactly is Great House Farm? And how did the Business Award come about?
All right, that's Great House Farm Luxury Pods and Self-Catering. We've got 4 glamping pods and a self-catering farmhouse. We're based up by Llanfair-ym-Muallt and by Earwood. We set up just before COVID, when my son Rhys decided that after he did his A-levels that he didn't want to go to university. And obviously, as a lot of farming folk will be aware, the profit margins in farming is low. So we set up the business. I oversee it as such on a day-to-day basis, and especially now that Carrie's gone off to, my daughter's gone off to university. And Rhys is the kind of builder, the one who comes up with a lot of the ideas. So what we did was we entered the Powys Business Awards last July. And what I would say, the Powys Business Awards, they're opening very shortly now. So any business, start a business, or there's various categories, go and apply for it, get the chance, the experience that gives you. We were shortlisted. Then we had a film crew come out and do a short film with myself in front of the camera because nobody else probably would do it. And then we had the judges out. And I think what they liked, the fact that we had a whole rounded package in terms of the fact that Rhys was the ideas guy, I was the business as such side of it, and run the day-to-day operations. And then we went to awards ceremony in Newtown at the end of October, not expecting at all to win. We thought a nice night out, chance to put on a posh frock.
I may have given it away,
then our category for the best startup business came up first, and our name was announced. Very, very surprising.
But how did that feel, Lynne?
I think it was a surprise. I think it was a recognition of the hard work that we put in. I think when you look at our website, we've got quite a big presence on social media. That you don't see that behind the scenes. You know, you've got the swan on top, but underneath you are.
I suppose
there
was a real enjoyment of it because of all the hard work he's put in.
Yeah,
your daily work he's putting into it.
Yeah, we put a lot of work in setting up. Last year we put in the first triple pod in the UK. We designed that with a company that we work with called Quality Pods Wales down in Pembrokeshire, who are brilliant. And we designed the pod. We knew what we wanted. We had the 3 original pods. We opened the farmhouse, which people love, but they were saying they wanted a glamping experience for more people. So we designed one that was suitable for 8 people, and it is out of this world. There is
Well,
nothing,
I've been out. It
is. There is nothing like it in the
Well, we'll put
in
up
the
the link
UK.
put up the link for you on Facebook.
Yeah.
But how rewarding is it then when you have guests that come up to you and say, "I'll keep on rebooking"? Is that
Oh,
good?
you know, when you have
How does that feel for you?
It is, you know, I just put a review on social media yesterday that from guests that were in the triple pod over the weekend, saying how special that pod was. And when you read those, you think, yeah, I'm doing something.
Yeah.
I'm doing something right. You have repeat guests. Again, we had 2 lots of repeat guests in last weekend. We've got repeat guests in this weekend. And that's what we love. We love to see those people come back.
Yeah.
Because we know that we've got a product that they like. But we don't stop on our laurels. You know, Reece is forever
Reece is
coming
your
up,
son,
coming up with new ideas, new ways of working. You know, he said he's the one who designs things, who builds things. He's got an incredible practical knowledge.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, you work in a family, we don't always agree,
Yeah.
but, you know...
Such is life, eh?
It is, but the bottom line is really, really good. And I think for me now that we are established, what I'm going to do a little bit more in the autumn, and it's all formulated in my head at the moment. My background is in business.
I saw this
and finance.
advertised on your Facebook page. So
Yeah.
go ahead, yeah.
So my background is in business and finance. So what I'm looking at doing is developing the business and finance side, the package, so that we can offer that support to other businesses, not just within the hospitality sector, but wider out. I've been working in that sector for about 30 years. And actually, one of the first thoughts of actually doing something for myself was, again, from that man, David Price.
Yeah.
He said to me one day, and it was probably a throwaway comment, it was, "You're setting up so many businesses for other people, why aren't you doing that for yourself?" And
you took that on board, obviously.
I took it on board, and he probably wouldn't even remember that he said it.
Yeah.
But you know, you take those things on board, and now we've supported quite a number of glamping businesses to set up. You know, we haven't publicised that at all because we've done that as supporting other people. But what we're going to do is go, or I'm going to do, is go back to supporting, developing businesses. Because sometimes, if you look at a business from the outside, you can see what's wrong with it quite simply. Whereas if you're working in a business,
it's hard to see.
It's a lot harder to see. You know, I see a lot of businesses that the concept is good, but maybe the marketing isn't there. They haven't put their finances into company's house. You know, they haven't got a clear business plan of where they're going. So that's what I want to do.
And also, I also touched on there's a well-being.
Yeah.
You're offering up.
Yeah, it is. What we're
a well-being holistic approach.
Holistic approach to well-being. What we're going to look at doing is doing a trial one in the autumn. Holistic well-being is very, very important to me, you know, in the whole kind of, you know, mental health scenario.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to work with an ex-colleague on this to do coaching, mentoring, and bring in some practitioners from the local area as well that will probably use our 2 smaller pods to offer
what a fantastic site.
Services.
What a place to do something like that.
It is, and I've got a couple of people that have agreed to be on board now. We are still looking for more. What is key for the people that we bring on board are people that we believe in as well.
Well, I know you've been doing research because you've been talking to me about it.
It is, yeah. There's an awful lot of so good people in the local area. And again, one of our ethoses in Great House Farm Luxury Pods and Self-Catering is using local people, using local products, using local suppliers. And it's the same going to be when we're doing our holistic and well-being
Yeah.
workshops,
Well,
that, you know, we will use local people to promote their services
and that
as well.
in turn will have a positive effect
Yeah.
for other people. And
It is. It's about we're living in a rural area. It's about our business supporting other businesses supporting us. You know, we're working in a, you know, holistic way as such.
Oh, right, Lynn.
Before we conclude, I would like to touch on one thing. You know, I did touch on it now in the.
I knew this was coming, so
Do you?
yeah.
In the when we're looking at the well-being workshops or retreat, what we're really proud of is the fact that you are working with the DPJ Foundation to promote mental health.
Yeah.
I think a number of us suffer with mental health issues, and it's bringing it to the fore and saying it is okay.
Well, with my personal blog, it's always, in every personal blog I do, I will bring up around mental health and how good it is to end the stigma. We've got to be able to talk about it.
We have to be able to talk
and given
about
safe
it.
Spaces to talk about mental health, you know. So.
And that it is okay to. And over these last few months, you know, a few people have talked to me about their mental health. You know, some that maybe I hadn't considered had mental health issues, and I think there's probably more of us suffer with that than we realise. And Great Outhouse Farm Luxury Pods and Self Catering would like to support your walk at Kilimanjaro, and they would like to offer a 2-night stay in the Seven, our triple luxury pod, but they would like to put it out to auction through this chat, but through...
I didn't know that was coming.
You didn't know this one was coming?
No.
But we would like to support
thank you, Lynn,
that and support the DPJ Foundation in the work that they're doing. But we would like it as an auction, and, you know, the real value of a 2-night stay, you know, you're talking 450,
yes,
500.
I know.
So we would like to see that kind of value being offered.
Thank you very much. And I know,
as an auction.
I know as it gets closer, that it's obviously getting closer for me now, but that's, as you get closer, obviously the opportunity for the auctions to happen.
Yeah.
And thank you very much, Lynn. And I know the DPJ would be very, very grateful as well.
Yeah.
And,
it is, and it is, like I say, it's raising that awareness and enabling people to say, yeah, I do have mental health issues.
Yeah.
I do have a down day.
They are one of quite, as we know, a number of charities. But specifically for me, why I chose them is because they're right. I say right at the farmer's gate.
Yeah.
The thing is, share the load, and by gum they do it, and there's not many of them, and they offer so much service to support in our rural community, and it's a vital, life-saving service they provide.
It is.
And every step I take, I'm thinking, yes, this is helping DPJ along the raising some important funds.
Yeah.
Well, Lynn, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
For the chat at the tavern. Wasn't it quite that bad, was it?
It wasn't too bad at all.
Would you come back?
I'd have to find something interesting to talk about, wouldn't I?
There's always something to talk about. Thank you very much, then.
No problem
Wonderful.
at all.
Thank you.